Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2 of this Weld Plus video. This is all one piece, and if you wanted to vector engrave the black lines, let's say you have a lot of them to do and you don't want to waste time engraving these little bitty lines. Well, you can do two things. You can click on those lines and turn them into a hairline. You can keep them black, it doesn't matter. And then you could take this object and move it out of the way. And I would suggest cutting this first. These are hairlines, and just run a cut job and run it like at 100 power and 100 speed. It'll just mark those lines real quick. It won't cut through the wood. Then you can actually move them out of the way and move this back down and then do your normal cutting, whatever it is, 100 power at 30 speed to get through the wood or whatever it is. And just for grins, let's just check to see what cutting order it is, because if you cut out this piece and it falls, and then you cut out you cut the first piece out, the big piece out first, then it falls, these little pieces might go, if your table's got a little bit of a warp in it or whatever. So let's just do this. Let's go to Object and break the curve apart. And now we have individual objects. So now let's go to Windows, Dockers, Objects, and click on that outside, and it is at the top. Most, I'm not going to say all, people with epilogue lasers, it's going to start from the bottom and work up in your cut order. So the good thing is our last thing is so once you've taken that out of the picture, it's not going to cut it. And your second curve is the outside. So that's perfect. This was perfect. I mean, it's actually going to cut that circle out. It's going to cut, that one out. It's going to cut some curves out. And these are all curves till it gets to the outside, and then the piece can drop because all the other pieces have been cut out. So that's called cut order. But what I would do is, and it's actually a really clean line, and it'll make it look like continuation of the cat and do it a lot faster. Now, if you had multiples of them, what I would do is move that out of the way and group this back together, Control G. Put this, let's see how big this football ornament is. It is a little over 4 inches, so let's set our nudge factor on 4.1. And Control D and make a duplicate. And move it over. As long as they're not touching, you're good. Maybe safely, I'd go a little bit more. But you've got, let's say you're going to do these 3 ornaments. We'll just move these out of the way and run this as a cut job. Then you can do one of two things. Since you've got the file saved, you can just delete those lines. And as a group, move this down and then run this as a cut with more power to get through the wood. It'll save you a lot of time, especially if you had a whole board of these to do. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.